Yo, VIPs, let's kick it. Hello and welcome to the Thingymajig Racing channel, where we try and cover the game Gran Turismo 7 within leagues and their racing. And today we are looking back on Sunday's evening racing with the Ultimate Racing League, and you could say this is the Ultimate League of leagues. On Sunday evening, with I think 6 leagues running, the Ultimate Racing League really have rounded off that Sunday evening itch for racing. We are looking at Tier 1 and we are at Round 8 at Lago Maggiore Reverse. I think it's Lago Maggiore. I'm pretty sure it's Lago Maggiore. The Broadman in the chat saying, "Evening, mate. The less you watch me tonight, the better." Oh, that's like an invitation to keep an eye out. But before all the racing, so have I explained everything with it's the Ultimate Racing League? This is League 1 of 6. They have the League of Champions, League 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5. This is round 8 of the championship of 10. We are coming to the end of the championship. Things are getting serious. I'll read you the table to let you know. Gosh, my phone's having a right doolally. Let's close a couple of things, and then maybe the tables will work. Come on. What is wrong with you? Right, 2 seconds. Having a technical hitch. I've got it now. All right? Calm your boots. We're having 2 sprint races here. I better tell you some things. 12 laps. Ultimate Racing League is sponsored by W Energy Drinks and Eldridge Air Conditioning, and it's 13 laps, I believe, both races. In the first race they have to use soft tyres, and in the second race they have to use mediums and hards, and I believe the hards have to be used. Oh no, there's a pit window, which I can't remember what the pit window is, so we'll just wing that, but that's race 2 anyway. Let's get to the table. Right. Then Brisbane is your leading champion in elect so far with 246 points, but I think, I'm no mathematician, but I'm pretty sure he might be touchable, but he would have to have a very bad last couple of races. Nigel second place on 189 points. Victor in third on 170 points. Unforgiven joint third, also on 170 points. I wonder how they'll have to do a count back, obviously. We haven't got drop scores in play yet. I don't know when the drop scores tables will be released. Maybe at the very end as a surprise. But before all drop scores, you've got Victor and Unforgiven joint third on 170 points. James Stephen in fifth on 156 points. Paul is sixth on 154 points. The Love Rocket is 7th on 145 points. The Cashman is 8th on 103 points. Slowpoke is 9th on 97 points. Declan is 10th on 96 points. Stealth is 11th on 94 points. So look at that. That spread is tight between the Cashman, Slowpoke, Declan, Stealth. It's so taut. Hodgie is 12th on 84 points. Inky is 13th on 80 points. Biggie is 14th on 73 points. Firepower is 15th on 65 points. And the Broadman is 16th on 59 points. The battle for the promotion and relegation is so tight in this table, ladies and gents. This one is going all the way to the wire. We are going to be ending this season at the green hell, and it is going to be every point counts. It's going to go off. Watch this space. Well, today, though, we've got round 8 to get out of the way. I've read you the championship. I've told you all about how amazing Dubby is and how essential Eldridge air conditioning is. So that's all by. And now we can look at the grid. Here it comes. After a short qualifying period in the BMWs, we have Brisbane back on pole. The natural order has been put back in place. So, yes, the Brisbane is back, and he's taking names and kicking ass. In second place, we have Victor, and there is no niggle today. He's doing this one as a drop score, it seems. So this is going to be a great chance for Victor to try and claim that second place. Then in third, we have Inky, and what an absolute strange upside-down championship Inky has had this season. He has the speed. In qualifying, he's always here at the sharp end, but his championship position does not account for that. But I have heard he has had hardware problems all season. He has been dogged with braking issues. His wheel has an issue, so yes, he has struggled this season with hardware. In fourth place, we have Unforgiven, and he is also battling with second, I suppose, with Niggle not being here. If Victor's having a bash, I imagine Unforgiven will be fancying it as well. So he's going to be looking for some big numbers come the end of this race. This is how important it is. Paul is next man. He is fifth, and he's in the battle as well, in that midfield battle. The one for Pride, I don't think there's promotion on the cards, or he might turn it around. And demotion is not a issue either. So I think Paul at the moment, although drop scores, he's already dropped one, so he might be up in that top battle because he's a sneaky one, missed around. So I may be speaking too soon, and Paul might be in the thick of the battle at the promotion end of this table. But at the moment, Paul fifth. In sixth place, sorry, Paul, I'm going to go to the top of your car. I couldn't bother to go around it. Is Hodgie. Hodgie in sixth. He's down in that relegation. He's just a little clear of the relegation battle, but he could easily fall into it with some bad results. So Hodgie there, sixth place. Great qualifying for round 8. And if he can turn that into points, that's going to get him well away from the scrap at the bottom of the table for who's going to go to dominate League 3 next season. This is the Love Rocket in 7th place. Again, in that mid-table battle where everything is to fight for at the moment. In 8th place, we have the Cashman. Again, just above the relegation battle, so needs the results to keep coming in, or he might get swamped in that little grimy battle at the bottom of the table. In 9th, he ain't messing, it's Biggie. Biggie returns, and he needs some points as well. He's quite close near that relegation zone. Slowpoke in 10th, fighting for every point. Like I say, they're all down here, and every point is counting. 11th for Stealth, Biggie's teammate. Again, more points he'll be looking for. And then the Broadman in 12th. And he's already given us a heads up that we've got to keep a close eye on his racing today. And we will be sure to do so. In the chat, Vodka Rob saying, "Good evening, sir. How the devil are you?" I'm good. I am good. And Vodka Rob saying, "I love this one. My best result so far in race 1. P4 with the leader still in sight." Yes, it's Vodka Rob races with me in League 3. 3. Yes, we're in 3. So I've missed the last 2 rounds because Formula 1 has clashed, unfortunately. Right then, let's get this show on the road. 2 races here at Lago Maggiore, which is hard at the best of times, but doing it in reverse seems like madness. Brisbane leads them away for this sprint race on the soft tyres. Victor having a Luke, And there they go, the flag, the lights have gone on a rolling start, and Victor keeping a close eye on the rear end of Brisbane, as Inky as well. He needs a big points day, and Unforgiven. It's a scrap up and down the table here, and Paul holding on to that 5th, but Hodgie is looking punchy today. Oh, Hodgie going a little wide there, but Love Rocket isn't on the scene to pick up from that one, and it gives Paul a little breathing space as Unforgiven kicks up a little dust there, but nothing to concern ourselves with. Inky holding his own in 3rd, and Victor going on the attack. Ladies and gentlemen, Victor is going aggressive early doors. We know Victor can use a set of tyres pretty good. Well, when I say pretty good, he kills the tyres. He is a tyre killer. He is the assassin of tyres. So he's going hard early, getting that rubber down to try and take the fight to Brisbane at the moment. Brisbane holding strong up there in the lead. Inky there holding off Unforgiven. Paul closing in on him. Hodgie just a similar gap as it was before, but Love Rocket does look closer to Hodgie now. Biggie in 8th. Has he had a jump? Biggie started in 9th, so he's got past the Cash Man. Oh, but he's out of the swing of it there, and the Cash Man goes through underneath as Biggie fights the BMW for control, and now he's coming back at the Cash Man. A drag race up to the next corner. The brakes are on, and the Cash Man is on the apex before Unforgiven. Oh my word, this is probably something. Oh, it looks like an attack from Unforgiven on Inky. Inky minding his own business, running his race, watching the leaders disappear as Unforgiven has a cheeky look of the inside. All's good, but no, he could not slow the car down enough. Inky continues on with the fight from Paul, and Paul looks like he's just slipped it in and up into 3rd place. Great driving from Paul there. Has to be on the scene as Inky drops down, and now someone. Victor, what is happening here? Everyone is losing their head by the end of the 1st lap. We said Victor had gone hard, and my word, he went very hard into the barrier. So Brisbane breathes aside. No, Paul, I thought Paul was sideways then. I believe Paul was sideways coming out of that corner, but may have just had enough momentum to keep on going. But Inky having a run and a look at Paul. Unbelievable stuff. Paul up to 2nd. Who else dropped? Hodgie now up into 4th place. The Love Rocket up into 5th. Unforgiven is 6th. The Cash Man, his teammate, 7th, just behind him. Biggie 8th, Slowpoke in 9th, Stealth in 10th, the Broadman in 11th. He's lost the pack a little bit there, and Victor on his case pretty soon. Poor Victor. But look, that was lap 1, ladies and gents. If it happened to Victor, Unforgiven, and slightly Inky, then it could happen to anyone. Although Inky was more affected by Unforgiven's overtake approach, wasn't he? So Paul at the moment up into 2nd place, cracking stuff. But Inky has pace as he has a look, but not close enough. Hodgie at the moment seems pretty safe there. Love Rocket maintaining the gap between himself and Hodgie. Unforgiven has pace, remember, but also may have grab everything. He'll be on a position grab, like one of those claw games at amusements. He's going to keep on funneling his money in it, trying to grab that teddy bear that just won't give, because he's got the Love Rocket, Hodgie, to go at, and they are no small fry. And the Cash Man staying with his teammate. Beautiful stuff there from the Cash Man in 7th spot. Biggie in 8th, but it looks like he's got Slowpoke and Stealth coming to join him. Sat on board with Stealth. Victor has already got himself by the Broadman. Brisbane leads from Paul and Inky. I know Inky was close to Paul. Oh, it was close to the wall there from Slowpoke. Beautiful driving on board with Stealth. Looking at that. Oh, it's such a cool track, isn't it? I don't think they agreed it was a cool track at the time. It was very difficult for them. But It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful and flowing. Stealth then having to try and get onto the back of Slowpoke as he kicks up a bit of dust there, using every inch of the track available to him. And Biggie looks quite comfortable there ahead of Slowpoke. The Cashman has dropped away. Oh, Unforgiven is absolutely driving like a lunatic, and so he has to claw back those positions. He has gone all in, ladies and gents. His foot is down. Until he sees the checkered flag, he's not lifting it. So Unforgiven goes on the attack with Hodgie. Hodgie was having quite a pleasant race up until now. Love Rocket looked a little sideways there, but it might have just been the angle. Inky has dropped off the back of Paul. Paul able to find himself a bit of space there to work in. Inky was giving him he was getting in his bubble, man. He was proper all up in his business. But now Paul easing the car away. Love Rocket, Hodgie going side by side. Unforgiven in the mix. Place your bets, ladies and gents, and it's the Love Rocket that meets the apex first. And everyone just has to be patient, sat behind the Love Rocket. Although, has the Love Rocket made a move on Hodgie? I believe he has. Sorry, it wasn't the Love Rocket behind Hodgie. So Hodgie losing the position to the Love Rocket. I apologise. Oh, it's too far to go back now. Sorry, Rodders. Should have looked at it. God, it's lovely and bunched up here. Inky, as he goes back up to Paul. Yeah, well, I mean, he's there and there, and he's enough there to bother him. It's enough to bother Paul. Paul trying to concentrate on his corners as he has Inky all up in his business. Brisbane, meanwhile, stretching his legs a little in the BMW and finding himself a nice lead. And he's gonna suit the League of Champions, I believe. Paul and Inky fight it out for that second place, and Hodgie in trouble now as Unforgiven goes the long way around, and space given, respect, and Hodgie though still with the dilemma, still having to be defensive, but it looks like Unforgiven has made the move. He's got the inside line on. No, sorry, the corner's going the other way. Hodgie there asking for more of the corner and still ahead, but he's picked up a penalty. He did look like he was a little off the track then. And now Unforgiven, although will not want to wait for the penalty to be served, is all he has to do. And Hodgie, I don't know where the penalty line is. Unforgiven now trying to chip away at that fifth place to find a way past again through. No, that is Hodgie spending his penalty. How close was the Cashman? Not close enough. But Biggie is. And Victor, he's got his way past Stealth and the Broad. Oh, Slowpoke has dropped down and he's picked up a huge penalty. And the Slowpoke's race has gone from bad to worse, it seems. Started strong though. And Vodka Rob saying race 2 wasn't so good. And Vodka Rob saying I punted in race 2 going up the hill at the Bigger Dipper. So keep an eye out for Ruthless Rufus, I believe, does League 3's stream or cover. Sorry, that I've just heard that cough come through the iPad. I'm still sick. 5 weeks and I'm still coughing up lung butter. Love Rods is in 4th place with Unforgiven now bearing down on him with Hodgie in 9th. We're on lap 5 of 13. Biggie in 7th. He's gained a position, but so has Victor. It looks like the Cashman slipped down the order with a 2:02 last time out. And now Biggie has to be as big as he can in front of Victor. Victor manipulating every line that he can to find a way past Biggie's AP Racing BMW. Victor giving it large, coming over the hill. But Biggie has this in control. He's got it. Around into the twisty area. And Victor now looming large in Biggie's mirrors, and just ahead, Hodgie. Oh no! Hodgie has lost it. He binned it in the hairpin, and that is a disaster for Hodgie, having such a great qualifying and a great start, moving up into 4th place. And that is not the race he was looking for, as Victor looks for a gap up the inside of Biggie, but there is no gap there. And Biggie gets a good pull out of that corner, a great drive out of the corner, and gets to pull away from Victor somewhat, but under braking Victor absolutely closes the gap. And Victor as well under pressure from the Cashman just behind. Unforgiven looks like he's getting set for a move on Love Rocket here. And Victor could do with Love Rocket being very awkward for Unforgiven to get by, as they're in their battle for that 3rd place in the championship. And Love Rocket knows the mission. He understands the mission, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's gone a little wide there, but it's okay. He's still maintaining ahead of Unforgiven. Biggie up into 6th with Victor. Who else has gone? Oh yeah, we saw Hodgie drop into 10th place. Slowpoke up into 11th ahead of the Broadman. Broadman chewing through that front right tyre in his BMW. Brisbane absolutely breezing this one. Breezing it through. Paul under pressure. He's lost it. No, he's gained it. Unbelievable, ladies and gents, but Inky is on a mission. Love Rocket still ahead of Unforgiven. Victor in 7th, his closest rival. That could be a humdinger. We're only halfway there. Living on a prayer. But Inky at the moment cannot do anything about... Oh, Jesus, I've just realised we're only halfway through. And Broadman's tyres are used. Good golly. So Paul, at the moment, having to drive out of his skin to stay ahead of Inky. The Love Rocket at the moment is doing the job. He's doing the job, and Unforgiven cannot find a way by. And this would be a huge help for his teammate Victor if he could get by Biggie. But Biggie ain't messing. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see for yourself, Biggie ain't messing. So Victor at the moment all trussed up behind Biggie, unable to go on the attack with Unforgiven, who now pulls alongside the Love Rocket, and it's Unforgiven into the first corner first, ahead of a Love Rocket there. And now release Unforgiven, I am sure, but there's a gap now between Inky and Paul. If Paul and Inky though continue to dogfight the way they are, then Unforgiven may be able to roll up to the back of them. 6 laps remaining, ladies and gents. We're still a long way to go. Brisbane is absolutely hounding it. Paul holding off Inky, but he must have those prickles, the prickly racing prickles. On edge is Paul at the moment, trying to fend off Inky. Inky takes a different line. Paul goes wide. Inky's going for the move. The cameraman can't even keep up with him, and Paul maintains. Both of them take a different line through that corner, and both end up exactly the same place. But I know, and Inky looked like he late braked there a little, and Paul then gathers it up and continues on. Unforgiven then is pulling away from the Love Rocket. Biggie ain't messing in 6th, and the Cashman looks like he's ready to go on the attack to Victor. Victor is abusing his tyres, as we suspected he would. Stealth up to 9th, also having a great race there. Unbelievable stuff from the Stealth man. And the Broadman in the chat saying, I don't know why my tyres destroyed so quickly. Dodgy set, yeah. Michelin supplying a duff set, I reckon. So Slowpoke in 10th. His race looked like it was done early doors, but he has prevailed. He has survived. It is a matter of survival down here at the lower end, as Broadman goes for a move on the Hodgie, but Hodgie maintains. And I don't know if that was a move or if it's Broadman's tyres are absolutely shot. and he just can't slow the car down in the corners. It's what it looks like, because Hodgie again just looks like he puts the brakes on and just goes flying because he's got no grip. So Broadman driving on ice, dancing around Hodgie, who's, really, I imagine Hodgie would rather not mention his race whatsoever. But and Hodgie's off the track, and that helps the Broadman through. And there he goes in his Falcon BMW. Brisbane leads, sorry. Paul in second, and there's a little gap between himself and Inky. Unforgiven, fourth. He's not going to catch him, is he? Fourth is as good as it's going to get, but he's just got to be aiming to finish ahead of Victor, who had a penalty and all that. Biggie, oh no. Biggie ain't messing, but the stewards are. And Biggie picks up a huge penalty with Cashman and Victor close behind. That's going to drop him a good 2 positions there. And, Falcon, yeah, of course they are. Falcon supplied my tyres. Michelin just did something to him. So there's Biggie paying a big penalty there. And he's lost it to Cashman and Victor. Victor will be pleased about that, with only his teammate just up ahead. Still a good few laps to go, but Victor's tyres are looking shameful as the Cashman goes up to the back. And don't forget, Biggie ain't messing. He's got the pace. He's on the back of the Cashman straight away. He's not... Oh no, Biggie has a meeting with the barrier, gets out the way of his teammate Stealth, then up and into 9th place, and Biggie gets going again ahead of Slowpoke, with the Broadman now up into 11th, and Hodgie having an absolute disaster in the BMW around here. Wowzers, Brisbane is collecting penalties. 1.5 seconds. What did he do for that? He must have stolen like a lollipop off of a miner or something to get 1.5 seconds. Paul in second ahead of Inky, with Unforgiven setting chase, but we think he could be too far behind at this point. The Love Rocket finding himself in 5th place. Great for, well, he's in the he's in that middle championship fight, so 7th on 145 points. I think he's pretty safe from the relegation battle, but yeah, great points for himself. And Victor just behind, 2 positions behind Unforgiven. Points he could do without losing to Unforgiven for that promotion battle. The Cashman picking up a small penalty there, and now give Victor a little bit of leeway as Stealth ahead of Biggie, as Biggie made a blunder and tapped the wall. Barely a touch, barely a scratch, and it spun him around. Slowpoke though, something to aim for, with Biggie on the horizon, and sport for Slowpoke. Broadman has been caught by Hodgie again. Hodgie coming back into this race, getting a second wind and going on the attack of Broadman, who has absolutely no grip whatsoever. And Hodgie gets through easily and up and into 11th spot. Brisbane then paid the penalty and is still on his way. Great driving from Brisbane. On lap 10 of 13, Paul has been under pressure the whole race and has not cracked. The man must be made of diamond. Let me have a sup of me hot brew. That was not a sup, that was a guzzle. Man alive, that was good. Hoo-wee. I enjoyed it so much I dribbled it all down my chin. That's what she said. So Paul in second, Inky in third, giving it large. Paul a 58.4 last time around, 58.9 for Inky. The tyres, Paul's using his tyres a little more, but they've still got a lot of juice on that rubber. Unforgiven ahead of Love Rocket. And Victor closing in, but Victor's tyres are nearly ready to give up the ghost. I say closing in, he did a 2-minute last time around with the Love Rocket nearly a second faster in the lap. So Victor maybe finding these last couple of laps a little struggle there. And the Cashman, who is Unforgiven's teammate, could be doing a huge favour to his teammate here, handing him the promotion. Although, remember, drop scores are not involved yet. We don't know what the drop scores are going to be. Paul under that pressure now, but he looks like he's building a gap. Inky taking a lap before he goes back on the attack. But Paul, I said Paul might be the sleeping giant in this championship, you know. I keep saying the top three are the ones fighting out for promotion, but I think Paul, when the drop scores come into it, he might be in with a shout. So Paul and Inky on his case, and at the moment, touch wood, no gremlins for Inky so far. Everything is working as it should. Unforgiven in 4th. The Love Rocket in 5th, being caught by his teammate, a 59.8 from Victor last time around. And Love Rocket 59.7. So similar times from the West drivers. The Cashman did a 2-minute. But Unforgiven, if he could take points away from Victor, that would be a huge help for his teammates. Stealth in 8th, Biggie in 9th, recovering from his barrier bash earlier. Slowpoke, is he closing in? 59.6 from Biggie last time, and 59.5 he is closing, but very, very slightly with the laps running low. But Biggie is starting to get through that front right tyre. Hodgie in 11th, he has left the Broadman behind. Oh no, Broadman's gone in and got some tyres, and I don't blame him. I bet he wishes he did that about 5 laps ago. So Broadman out there, he might be looking for fastest lap, you know, lower fuel than the rest. Half a tank of fuel with fresh rubber. He might be up for a fastest lap, although Brisbane's fastest lap is pretty rapid and will be tough to beat. Brisbane's tyres starting to see the end of their life. Paul at the moment really pulling away from Inky now. That is a definitely bigger gap than we have seen before in this race. A 58.3 from Paul. He is only just starting to get into his stride. And Inky at 59.2, nearly a second behind Paul's time there. And Unforgiven, a 2-minute from Unforgiven. His tyres starting to become a lot to handle possibly. And the Love Rocket lurking behind with, we've got to say, quite tidy tyres. So Unforgiven, it is not over yet. Victor also closing in on the Love Rocket. Although Victor's tyres looking pretty much mullered, he is on the attack. Vodka Rob saying, I did a practice run for this one and the set went off really quickly. Defo could be a glitch. And the Broadman saying, fastest lap, whatever, with laughing faces. The Cashman on the hunt for Victor. If he gets all tangled up with his teammate, the Love Rocket, then the Cashman could close in on this one. Unforgiven with his tyres starting to go the wrong way. Is he in danger if the Victor is unleashed? But at the moment, Love Rocket holding his very own. So Cashman with a chance to close in. Stealth holding it up against the 9th place Biggie. Biggie only lost 1 position really, didn't he, through that little spin. So he can't be too salty after this one. Slowpoke closing in every lap on Biggie. Biggie's tyres being chewed up, but they are just about to start the final lap the next time they go across the line. And the Broadman on those fresh tyres, feeling good. Brisbane is on his final lap. Well into it, I would say. So he'll be glad to see the checkered flag, the way the tyres are looking. Paul has got a nice gap behind him for some mistakeage if needed. Inky in third, and Unforgiven has got absolutely no chance of catching Inky at this point. Love Rocket staying ahead of his teammate, and Cashman has closed up. This could be exciting. Stealth in 8th. He looks pretty safe from his teammate Biggie. Biggie could be in trouble to Slowpoke. Hodgie in 11th, and Broadman there. So Brisbane coming around to the end. Paul looks like he's locked up, but he's okay. He's got space. Unforgiven, so it's the Love Rocket, Victor, and Cashman. Oh, where's that line, man? Brisbane's got to be near the end of the lap, and it's just round here. Love Rocket at the moment still in 5th, Victor in 6th. We'll go back if need be and watch a few of the corners, but we'll see Brisbane cross the line for another win and another step closer to that League of Champions as Paul comes round for an absolutely cracking second place there from Paul. Brilliant drive. Inky in 3rd, and solid drive for the podium. Unforgiven having to come back in this race and only really losing a position, maybe 2, but more importantly heading ahead, finishing ahead of Victor, with Love Rocket ahead of Victor and Cashman. Nothing changed there. Love Rocket, Victor, Cashman in 7th. Stealth comes home in 8th. Can Biggie stay ahead of Slowpoke? Slowpoke is very close to Biggie, but it looks good. Biggie there for 9th place, just behind his teammate Stealth, and Slowpoke coming over to take the checker flag in 10th. Hodgie in 11th, a race I believe he would rather forget. But what an absolute cracking start he had in the race, and up to 4th, and he's got to take the positives from it. So Hodgie coming home in 11th. And the Broadman not having his best race, but getting his fastest lap of the race. And I imagine the Broadman will be happy to see the back of the BMW and possibly see some podiums next season in League 2, sorry. I get mixed up. I don't know what I'm covering anymore. So yeah, I think he needed some more points than that today, and we've got to start. Well, drop scores still could have a lot to do with it. Broadman's already dropped his scores, so if there's those just ahead of him have got scores to drop, then he still might be safe from promotion yet. Who knows? So Brisbane then takes the win, back to his old habit. Paul grabs a grand second place there, and it could put him in contention for a promotion spot come the end of the season. This table is lit. Inky in 3rd, he needed those points. He was getting down there in that relegation battle, but I think that is going to give him a huge jump up the league. So Inky, congratulations. It came together finally. The qualifying and the race results reflect. Unforgiven in 4th, had to come back in this race. Looked solid for a short while there, but like I said, more importantly, he's 2 positions ahead of his closest rival in the championship for that promotion. Although Unforgiven and Victor, I think Paul has just entered the chat. So watch out for those. The Cashman, good points there for 7th. Stealth in 8th. Biggie in 9th. Slowpoke in 10th. Hodgie in 11th. And the Broadman in 12th. Let us move on to the second sprint race, where it has a pit window, and they have to move from either hards or mediums to the opposite tyre. They have to use both. Where are we? Didn't expect it to kick me out that far. Jesus. Chill out. So, yeah, race 2. And I'm going to click view, and then the next loading screen will tell you the results, which is handy. We'll try not to look at them, shall we? And we're going to wait for the Kinder Egg grid, because it can change. Right. Before I even do any explaining, we'll have a look at who's where. Okay. So, yes. So, Biggie finished, I believe, in 9th. He starts on pole. Then thereafter, they start from their finishing positions from 9th. So, Biggie on pole with Slowpoke starting in 2nd, Hodgie in 3rd, Broadman in 4th. Then, after that, it's reversed. The top 8 from race 1 are reversed. So in 5th we have Stealth, the Cashman in 6th, Victor in 7th, the Love Rocket starts 8th, Unforgiven starts 9th, Inky starts 10th, Paul starts in 11th, and Brisbane starts in 12th. Right. Tyres are important. So, Biggie starts on the Racing Hard. Slowpoke is also starting on the Racing Hard tyre. Hodgie is going for the mediums. Then we have Broadman. He is also on the hard tyre. Stealth is also opting to start on the hard compound. Cashman is on mediums, with Victor has hard-ons. Rocket is on the mediums, with Unforgiven has the hards on. Inky is on hards, with Paul on the mediums. Brisbane starting on the mediums. So Paul and Brisbane looking to fight their way through some very swift cars, but albeit on hard tyres. Right then, let's get this race underway. So there is Biggie on pole position, leading them away. And Biggie against a Slowpoke, both on hard tyres, is Hodgie, who might be racy, but it looks like it's the evening, so the track will be quite cool. It'll take a couple of corners for Hodgie's tyres to light up. And the Broadman also on those hards. Stealth's on the hards. And the Cashman then, he's on the mediums. But like I said, it might take a corner or two for the mediums to get up to temperature. So Biggie and Slowpoke making hay before Hodgie's tyres come alive. But already it looks like Hodgie starting to look lively there. Ooh, and Broadman putting a wheel on the dirt, but he seems to have survived as Hodgie makes his first cut. And it's Slowpoke down to 3rd, Hodgie up and into 2nd. Slowpoke, though, slowly backing into the Broadman, who got a better drive out of the corner, and Broadman whipping out of the stream of Slowpoke, but tucks back in again, and he doesn't make the move. Stick, Hodgie looks like he made a mistake through the chicane there. Slowpoke coming back at him, and Biggie is getting away. Stealth then in 5th place, and the Cashman in 6th, Victor in 7th, Love Rocket in 8th, Unforgiven in 9th, Inky in 10th, Paul in 11th, Brisbane in 12th. I don't think much has changed down there as Biggie makes a big getaway, but Hodgie sets chase. Slowpoke slipping away from it now, and Broadman is in 4th, but Stealth, oh, some action here between Cashman and Stealth. Stealth having a look at Broadman, and Cashman having a look at Stealth, and it might be Victor who makes the official move, but Cash on those medium tyres. There goes Victor though up the inside. He gets his to stick, but the wheels don't find cohesion, but he holds on anyway, and the Cashman slips down while everyone slips around here as the as they all bunch up. On the hards. Let's have a look what he can see. Oh, he's had to go off track there and slips behind Paul with only Unforgiven behind, and he picks up a penalty, as you know, that's painful. And there goes Unforgiven. But they are bunched up nicely down here
If we skip up to Paul, because it looks like Paul is in the thick of it as they go past the Cashman. Looks like Cashman made some sort of mistake there. We'll have to come out and have a look what the bejeebers has happened here, because there's a lot of shuffling. So where was Cashman? Oh wait, you didn't get to see much there, do you? So Cashman and Stealth at it. Yeah, just everything okay at the moment. Under control. No, don't really get a good angle of that one. But yeah, his car juts out a little bit and he loses a hatful of positions. Victor in 5th on the Broadman, still holding 4th. Hodgie has closed up to Biggie. The battle of the lead here on lap 2. Hodgie's tyres up to temperature and he is up for it. And Biggie at the moment under pressure. Freddie Mercury wrote a whole song about him and sang it with David Bowie. So Hodgie looks like he's having a break now. Biggie pulling away a little bit. Slowpoke keeping an eye on things as Victor closes in up to 4th now. He's got past the Broadman and Brisbane as well, sneaking up through the pack up to 6th, and it looks like he's going to go by the Broadman as well. Victor absolutely coming from nowhere, right at the back, and he's already up and into 5th place. Halfway round. Oh, and Broadman loses the car. And oh no, it looks like there's more people. Oh, we'll have a look, because it looks like Love Rocket was not involved, but affected. Oh, was it Paul? Paul, where'd Broad end up in all of that then? Sorry for multiple. Yeah, no, I just think racing incident there. I think Paul had nothing to do with it. He was right behind them all. But yeah, it was like Broadman turned in. Love Rocket was just about there and caught his rear derriere, and Paul then gathered the pair of them up. So Slowpoke in 3rd, but under pressure from Victor. Victor's on those. No, it's not Slowpoke. Sorry, that's Victor under pressure from Brisbane. Ooh, it was the battle you've all been waiting for. Signore Victor versus Brisbane. Brisbane closing up onto the back of the West car. And Victor having to make that car as wide as possible to keep Brisbane on the mediums, Victor on the hards. This is very good. If Victor can at any way hold Brisbane up for a lap or two, will help in the later parts of the race when Victor goes to the medium tyres. Stealth in 6th, great for Stealth there, ahead of Inky, with Love Rocket in 8th. What a tangle and a battle. Stealth goes wide, Inky goes through, brilliant stuff, and it looks like Love Rocket also going to pick up a position there, as Stealth I think dropped a wheel into the kitty litter, and he's up and through. Although Love Rocket getting a little wide on there through the corner, and somehow, oh, he's got a penalty though, and Stealth, Unforgiven, Cashman, they're all lined up. They're all queued up behind the Love Rocket to pick up the position. And you can see Stealth there ahead of Unforgiven. We're on board with the Cashman. Paul is 11th, just behind us, as Unforgiven goes for a move on Stealth. Under braking, and it's Unforgiven has got the position. It looks like Paul's just sneaked one up the inside of us as well. Unbelievable driving down there, brilliant stuff. So Paul picking up the position from the Cashman. Stealth just losing the position from Unforgiven. The Love Rocket, he's ahead of Unforgiven and could help his teammate out a lot here. Inky in 6th with Slowpoke in 5th. Victor's, oh no! Oh, and my good golly gosh. The big battle between Brisbane and Victor. Victor pulling away, but then loses the back end of the BMW. And Brisbane now up and into 3rd spot. Slowpoke in 4th, Inky 5th. The Love Rocket up into 6th, Unforgiven 7th, Paul in 8th. The Cashman 9th, Victor then rejoins in 10th, but he's got a rear view mirror full of stealth. And the Broadman is having a similar race that he had in the first race. No wonder he said don't watch him. It's not gone well. Biggie still leads. Hodgie has not been able to crack that nut. Oh, is that lag? Yeah, it's lag. It looked like he got into the wall then. So that's Biggie leading this race handsomely. Hodgie chasing him down on the medium tyres, and Brisbane closing in also. Brisbane on those mediums. Victor had the fastest lap though on the hard, so Slowpoke in 4th, Inky in 5th, the 2 Lucky Strike cars. Line astern on track. Great photo op for the sponsors. Love Rocket just ahead of Unforgiven. As who's in the mix here? Paul having a look at Unforgiven. Remember, Paul's the sleeping giant in that promotion battle, and he gets the move done on Unforgiven. He is on the medium tyres, but still Unforgiven struggling with the Cashman on the medium tyres. Goes through. The pit window is open, ladies and gents, and the hard tyre runners are rushing in. Let's have a quick look then. Biggie, he didn't come in, he's on the hard tyre, still ahead of Hodgie, who has been caught by Brisbane. Those are both on the mediums. The Love Rocket on the mediums in 4th, Paul in 5th on the mediums, the Cashman staying out on the mediums. Then we have the hard runners coming back on track, and it's Inky in 7th, Slowpoke in 8th, the 2 Lucky Strike drivers looking grand together. Beautiful stuff. Victor's made a big jump there. He's gone on to the medium tyres and jumped Unforgiven. How has he done that? Somehow, some way, unless did he pit before? He couldn't have pitted before then, the lap before, because he wouldn't be on his out lap now. So somehow Victor makes a huge leap above Unforgiven. Stealth has filled up, so that slowed him down, and the Broadman also making the pits. Unforgiven has put more fuel in than Victor, but still, I don't know how Victor's managed that on Unforgiven. Interesting. So then, the battle, Biggie still ahead of Hodgie, and Hodgie under immense pressure from Brisbane. And it is for position. It's not like he's saying, oh, that's not my fight. He can fight for that 3rd place if he really well likes to. But Brisbane just sends it up the inside, like the sim racing messiah is destined to be. And Biggie, you better fear the Brisbane over at the League of Champions. You're all sitting happy on the hog, up on your hill, but something's coming to shake your foundations, League of Champions. Oh no, Biggie's dropped. Ladies and gents, Biggie has had an absolute corker of a race so far under the pressure, and oh, that's just seemed odd, didn't it? A little massive oversteer for the Biggie, and he hands the lead to Brisbane, and 2nd place to Hodgie, with Biggie down in 3rd, Paul in 4th, with the Love Rocket 5th, not too far behind, and the Cashman as well in the battle there in 6th. Then we have the pit stopped cars with Inky in 7th, Slowpoke in 8th, Victor in 9th, somehow ahead of Unforgiven. And Stealth, well, they've done their laps now. Let's have a look. Oh, Unforgiven did 2 2:10s. And Victor did a 2:22, but then he did a 2:06. I make no sense of that, ladies and gents, whatsoever. So yeah, Victor having a cracking pit stop, and he's closing in on Slowpoke. Slowpoke sitting in 8th, just put those medium tyres on, but Victor has closed right in on the Lucky Strike driver, and he can't be hesitant behind him, not with Unforgiven looming large behind. So Victor, he's going to have to, if he's got the pace to get by, he's going to have to do it earlier rather than later, or he's going to find Unforgiven giving him some sort of harassment course. So Victor at the moment then, gets a lovely drive out of that corner against Slowpoke and all the way up the straight and gets the move done beautifully. He had to go all the way down the straight for it though. And Slowpoke then down in 9th with Unforgiven looming large in 10th spot. Stealth in 11th. The Broadman in 12th. Brisbane leads. Has not pitted yet. Started on the mediums, still on the mediums. Hodgie in 2nd. Started on the mediums, still on the mediums. Then we have Biggie. Started on the hards and has yet to pit. Get in the pits, my lad. What? Why? Get on the faster tyre. The Cashman in 4th. Started on the mediums, still on the mediums. Paul. Wasn't Paul ahead of Cashman? 2:02, 2 minutes. So, yeah, Paul might have had a bit of an issue. So I think he was ahead of Cashman, but I'm not sure. The Love Rocket in 6th. Cashman's had some cracking lap times next to those behind him. And he's having a lot strong. Well, his race wasn't weak in the first race, but he found himself down in, 8th or 9th, chasing. But the Cashman at the moment in 4th, holding his own against Paul. Paul not managing to close up. The man who finished in 2nd in the first sprint race, unable to make an impression on... he closed in there though. Did Cashman make a mistake? No, it looks all right. So Cashman holding his own.
They made the brake discs slow when they're hot fire.
In the chat, Vodka Rob saying, I love how they made the brake disc glow when they're hot. I know, it's fantastic, isn't it? So, at the moment, Cashman under the pressure from Paul. Love Rocket in 6th. He gets a great view and hopes something goes amiss, awry ahead of him. And then he can gain. But at the moment, Paul looking racy against the Cashman. And Seamus Cash then loses the position to Paul. Paul absolutely flies up the inside of him with the better drive out the final corner and the toe together, slingshotting Paul up and into 4th place ahead of Seamus Cash. Love Rocket inching closer to that battle. Then we have Inky. Bit of a gap between him and the rest, but I tell you what, not a huge gap. Maybe they'll be dropping behind Inky. Victor's sliding his car around with Unforgiven still chasing. Slowpoke's dropped behind Unforgiven now with Stealth in 11th. And he's on a race of his own at the moment, as is the Broadman. Brisbane also in a race on his own. Look at the lead he's pulled out. 1:57.7. Somebody stop him. Hodgie picked up a half a second penalty, and Biggie, that will put him right on his spoiler, I reckon. So Hodgie hasn't been able to run away from Biggie, and Biggie's still on those hard tyres. He's taking the hard tyres long, ladies and gentlemen. He's not messing. He's not messing with mediums. So Hodgie, who's going to be on the hard tyres, is going to have a lot of Biggie to deal with for the remainder of this race. I'm guessing the pit window is probably either this lap or the next. Paul is his pace not there from the first race, is it? He is unable to live with Biggie, who is on the racing hard tyres. We've got to say, Biggie's pace amongst these guys has been incredible. As he goes into pit now, he's going to get a lap on those mediums ahead of these guys on their old mediums. They're going another lap, so it must be the end of this lap, I'm guessing, is the cut-off point, as Brisbane flicks up some more purples before he goes on to the hard compound. Hodgie, cracking spot. It'll be interesting. Well, we'll see where Biggie comes out. Behind Victor on the new set of mediums. Oh, and Unforgiven having a look at Biggie. Unforgiven's tyres are already in the zone, whereas Biggie is bringing his up to temperature, but holding his own there. Look at that. Biggie absolutely on it, but his back end wasn't then, and that gives Unforgiven a run into the next braking zone, but Biggie still holding on. You know what I'm going to say. You know what needs to be said. Biggie ain't messing, okay, ladies and gents? Biggie ain't messing, but nor's Unforgiven. Look at him. He's got a good drive out that corner. He's on the attack. He's got himself the inside line and into the braking zone. It's Unforgiven's position. Bing, bang. And Unforgiven up into 8th. Biggie then down in 9th. So this is going to be where they're all... I mean, I reckon Brisbane's going to come back out in the lead. But Hodgie, Paul, the Cashman, Love Rocket are all going to find themselves in this little area between Inky, Inky, Unforgiven, Biggie, Slowpoke, and, not so much Stealth. But Brisbane is in, but I believe Brisbane is going to be out before the rest of the field. These guys will all peel in as well. Hodgie in, Paul in. These have all got to run the hard tyre now. And Love Rocket in also. And like I said, Victor. And there's Brisbane out of the pits, already on his way. Victor will move up into 2nd spot. Inky up into 3rd. And what's going on? Paul is out. Paul is out up and into 4th ahead of Hodgie, who's just come out as well. Unforgiven is there. Unforgiven, having a look. Like again, he's on the medium tyres against these hard-tyred compound runners now. It's going to be tough for the rest of this race for these guys. Biggie, he's on the mediums looking at the Cashman. The Cashman just having to come in to put the hard tyres on. And Biggie's getting the move done up the inside of the Cashman. And Biggie is absolutely having a cracking race here. And Hodgie also on the hard tyres, and they're all for the picking for Biggie. They're all there. He's caught up with Hodgie already, and there he goes. He's by Hodgie. Next on his list is it Unforgiven? No, I think, yeah, Unforgiven's. No, he's on the set of used mediums. It'll be Paul, but he's on Unforgiven's list first. So Biggie there on a double overtake. Brilliant stuff from Biggie. Risking it wholesale. I keep muting just to have a cough. I hope you guys can still hear me. You can't, can you? Oh yeah, you can. Oh my god, my heart stopped there because I had it turned right down. And I thought, oh, have I not been coming through at all? So Brisbane then leads, but he's on the hard tyre. Victor is on the medium tyre. It's a gap, but with 2-3 laps to go, is it possible, Victor, to close the gap on Brisbane? Can Brisbane find a good pace on those hard tyres? Has he built up enough of a buffer? We shall see. Inky in a solid spot there, 2 podiums in a row if he can keep this one. Unforgiven in 4th, has got himself ahead of Paul, who is on the hard tyre. This is a battle of promotion, remember, between Paul, Unforgiven, and Victor, who is in 2nd spot. I'm pretty sure Brisbane is already promoted. I don't think he can drop further back than third in this championship. So there's only 2 more spots. Victor is fighting Unforgiven, Paul in it. James Stevens not here this week, so he's doing his drop score. And Nor's Niggle, remember Niggle in that battle as well. Unforgiven getting purples, and Biggie is aiming for Paul next. Then we've got the Cashman in 7th, Hodgie in 8th, Slowpoke in 9th. Now Slowpoke's on those medium tyres, and he's coming back at Hodgie. Can he get Hodgie and Cashman, who are on the hard tyres here? Sitting Ducks. Ooh, Love Rocket nearly lost his car. Stealth in on the mediums, down in 11th, with the Broadman on his mediums down in 12th. Brisbane absolutely flying. He's crossing the line. This is his true lap on the hard tyres, and he's doing a 59.2 with Victor doing 58.1s. He is closer, but it's not a lot, you know. It's not a great deal with only 2 more laps to go, and Inky is the man who's looking stronger to possibly take 2nd place from Victor. And Brisbane, I think he's got enough in the tank there to stay ahead of Signore Victor, who is absolutely blazing at the moment. Inky in 3rd, Unforgiven in 4th, ahead of Paul. Ooh, movement. I thought there was movement. Oh, Slowpoke. Oh, no. Slowpoke was going for a move on Hodgie. Oh, a clash there as Hodgie turns in. And Slowpoke losing the rear end as he tries to gather it up. Where did Hodgie end up? And Hodgie at the side of the road as well. This is a nightmare stuff. Looks like Hodgie is waiting. No, he's gone. And Slowpoke also continues on also. And Love Rocket then up a position there, well, up 2 positions into 8th. The Cashman gains out of that. Biggie, as he had an issue, a 2:04 for Biggie. And the Cashman starting to climb over the back of the AP Racing team. Paul in 5th, that's who Biggie was aiming for. And now he's got a bit of a gap from him. Unforgiven in 4th. And I don't think he's going to gain on Inky or Victor, who are going great guns at the moment to try and catch that leader, Brisbane, who is absolutely flying. Inky's got the fastest lap off of off of Brisbane. The 57.5. Unforgiven, he was getting some purples. Paul on the hard tyres holding his own. He's not letting Unforgiven get away from him, and Biggie unable to rock up to the back of that Falcon BMW. The Cashman on the hard tyres giving Biggie a lot to think about. The Love Rocket in 8th is right on the scene to pick up some big points here if people make mistakes. We're on the final lap now. Brisbane is too far ahead of Victor. So Victor driving for that 2nd place, trying to stay ahead of the very rapid Inky at the moment. Unforgiven looking good for 4th, ahead of Paul in 5th place. 6th for the Cashman. Oh, he's got ahead of Biggie. Oh my word. Biggie slipping down the order, and Cashman getting another position. Great points there for the Cashman. Brisbane, where is he? He's only halfway around his lap. Everything looks sound up in the top 3 or 4. Biggie losing a position to Cashman. Oh, Love Rocket pushing hard, fancies that as well. Slowpoke in 9th, ahead of Hodgie. They had a little coming together with each other. Stealth in 11th, and the Broadman in 12th. It doesn't really look like there's any dueling going on here at the moment, so we'll just follow Brisbane back on home. I say there's none, but Inky looks like no, it's not. Oh, no, it's... Who picked up the penalty? Victor. Oh, Inky's going to grab it. Inky's going to grab it with Victor getting a penalty there. Brisbane comes around the final corners to take the win. A lovely pair as well, Brisbane. Great stuff. Fantastic. Another win. Inky grabs second on that final lap with Victor picking up a slight penalty. And Inky, that pace, kept him in the fight and kept him in second, with Victor in third. Unforgiven brings it home in fourth, just ahead of Paul, who finishes in fifth place. The Cashman grabs an absolute cracking sixth place, and he'll be happy with that, I am sure, with Biggie coming home in seventh, the Love Rocket in eighth place, and Slowpoke coming home in ninth, although his final lap was not great, nor was Hodges, and Stealth nearly caught him up. So Slowpoke grabbing himself a ninth spot there, and Hodgie home in 10th, Stealth in 11th. And the Broadman having a race he would rather forget, it seems, but it's there for all eternity now. And here we go. Broadman around the final corners to round out that top 12. And what a cracking pair of racers, it has to be said. And Brisbane, a great drive again from the machine. Watch out, League of Champions. He's there to ruffle feathers. Inky, a great drive there. Stayed with Victor all the way. Matched his pace, got the fastest lap, and when Victor picked up a penalty, Inky was there to pick up second place. Great drive and a great pair of results. 2 podiums, isn't it, Inky? That is definitely taking you out of that battle down at the lower end of the table, I am sure. Victor in third, getting some points on Unforgiven, Paul and Niggle with that promotional fight. Fantastic stuff. Unforgiven in fourth, making it difficult for himself.
Great cones again.
But we still have 2 races left of the season. Paul in fifth, representing, and the Cashman, great result there in sixth. Biggie in seventh, Love Rocket eighth, Slowpoke in ninth, Hodgie in 10th, Stealth in 11th, and the Broadman rounding it out in 12th. Next time in the Ultimate Racing League, round 9, we're going to be at Españar, the national track, I think. So keep an eye out for that next week as League One continues their battle for promotion and demotion. The Broadman in the chat saying, great comms again, mate. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. It's the racing. The racing is interesting, so you can get away with it on the comms. What else have I got to say? I'll be live Friday for a 2-hour Daytona race with the World Racing community. And yeah, that's about all the news I got for you. If you're in a group, you want something covering, just give us a holler, and we can chat about it. Thank you for joining us here at the Thingymajig Racing channel. There's nothing more to say except for Turu, peace and love, peace and love.
Cheers, mate.
Word to your mother.